Set the table. A culinary journey is about to begin. Food nourishes us. It brings us together. But when so, important things become trapped, the source of confusion and worrying. What will happen in an age of choice? How can we adapt to modern times? Sailing in a sea of food. Make decisions that are in line with our values and health. Michael Pollan's thought-provoking book, The Troublemaker's Dilemma, has taken us on a fascinating journey through the intricacies of our food system. This journey, revealing the hidden dangers behind our dietary choices, and challenge us, rethinking our relationship with food. Join us. Let's go deep into the exploration of the 4 meals of the pulsator together, uncovering the complexities and contradictions of modern diets. The omnivore's feast of doubt. As an omnivore, humans have evolved to enjoy a diverse diet. However, this dietary flexibility comes at a cost. Faced with a vast array of choices in the supermarket, and we found out, I am struggling with a fundamental problem. What should we eat? Pollan thinks, in our world today, this simple problem has become incredibly complex. The industrialization of our food system, that takes us so far away from the origins of food. Processed food, factory farms, and long supply chains dominate our culinary environment. Let many of us learn about the nutrition of food. The value and ethical significance are uncertain. Pollan invites us to confront this dilemma head-on. Michael Pollan's Guide Through the Food Maze. Michael Pollan, a renowned food journalist and author, a wise guide to our culinary adventure. He is curious, skepticism, and a commitment to the truth behind the dinner plate, to explore the complex world of food. Through meticulous research and engaging storytelling, Wave Theory sheds light on our food choices. Our health and the health of the planet are intertwined. Complex connection. He didn't shy away from asking Jerry's question, challenge traditional ideas, and it prompts us to become more conscious. The ubiquitous domination of corn on the industrial dinner plate. Our journey into the heart of the modern food system. It begins with an unlikely protagonist. Corn is a seemingly inconspicuous crop. It has become the bedrock of industrialized food production. Its influence extends far beyond us. Corn cobs associated with summer barbecues. Pollan street market. Corn in its various process forms. It has permeated every corner of our diet. High fructose corn syrup to sweeten our sodas and snacks. And cornstarch thicken our sauces and soups, even meat and dairy products. It also bears the marks of corn because it was raised industrially. Main feed for animals. Excessive reliance on single crops. It has a profound impact on our health and the environment. Far impact. Pollan thinks corn-based ingredients are everywhere, cause a range of health problems, including obesity, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes. In addition, the industrial production of corn relies heavily on pesticides, herbicides, and synthetic fertilizers. These substances are contaminating our rice. They depleted our soil. Pollan challenges us to think. Corn in the middle. The hidden cost of the heart's diet. The second part, from farm to factory. Mechanization of food production. Our exploration of the industrial food chain will take us to a factory farm. Right there, efficiency and profit maximization are paramount. Michael Pollan. Pollan paints a stark picture of the events involved. Right there, animals are more like commodities than creatures. Chickens are kept in a cramped area, in the cage, never experience freedom. Freedom to roam or engage in natural activities. Cows were heavily injected with antibiotics to ward off disease in crowded feedlots. They are standing on the concrete floor. The hooves have never touched a blade of grass. Pollan thinks this industrialized approach to animal agriculture raises serious ethical questions about animal welfare. He also emphasized, use meat produced under these conditions. Possible health risks. The mechanization of food production comes at a cost. Whether it's for the animals we raise, it's about supporting ourselves. Pollan urges us to question, In our quest for cheap and abundant food, the trade-offs made. Part 3: Hidden costs. The ethical implications of industrial agriculture. The impact of agricultural industrialization. It goes beyond factory farms. It affects the land on which we make mistakes. Michael Pollan. Pollan exposed our modern, the environmental consequences of the food system. Reveal our pursuit of cheap and the hidden cost of convenience food. The widespread use of pesticides and herbicides. No pollution to our soil and water, harming wildlife, and may pose a risk to human health. In addition, industrial agricultural practices have led to soil erosion, deforestation, and the depletion of vital resources. Pollan thinks our current trajectory is not sustainable. The industrialization of agriculture has created an environment of destruction, harm our health, and damages the system of animal skin. Michael Pollan, he challenges us to recognize our food choices have a profound impact beyond our own plates, affecting the health of our planet and future generations. The first part is greener pastures, the promise of sustainable agriculture. Pollan took us on a journey to a different kind of farm. This kind of farm, for the future of food, offers a more promising vision. Michael Pollan, he introduced us to sustainability, the world of agriculture. Farmers prioritize ecological balance, animal welfare, and the long-term health of the land. In this agricultural model, the end point is to maximize production, shift towards nurturing entire ecosystems. Farmers adopt methods to improve soil fertility, save water resources, and practices that promote biodiversity. The pulsator emphasizes getting rid of monocultures, adopting the importance of crop rotation and diversification. By growing various crops, farmers can create more resilient ecosystems. Sustainable agriculture represents our connection to changes in relations of production of food. Recognize the interconnectedness between humans and natural systems. The second part returns to the principles of harmonious organic agriculture. In the field of sustainable agriculture, organic agriculture is a beacon of hope. He provided a set of, only in nature, principles and practices for harmonious food production. Pollan delves into the world of organic farming, explore our core concept, and its benefits to consumers and the environment. The core of organic agriculture is prohibition of the use of synthetic pesticides, herbicides, and fertilizers. Organic farmers do not rely on chemical inputs and see as the use of natural methods to control pests, such as wheel seeds, and introduction of vermin. They nourish the soil with compost and manure, without the use of synthetic chemicals. Rich soil fertility and structure. Organic agriculture. It also extends its principles to animal welfare. In the depths of organic farming, you can enjoy the fresh pasture air and sunshine. They're not going to be locked in tiny cages. They're not given antibiotics or hormones. Pollan thinks these practices not only promote lipid flotation in animals, it produces something that's much healthier, tastier meat, eggs, glass, and dairy products. By choosing organic food, consumers can support a prioritized environment, managing animal welfare and producing nutritious products. An agricultural system of delicious food. Part 3. From farm to table. Reconnecting our food sources. Pollan recognizes reconnecting the importance of food sources. He advocates a shift to a more localized food system. He encouraged us to go beyond supermarket anonymity with the people who grow and feed our food, build relationships, farmers market, community-supported agriculture project, and farm-to-table restaurants. Provides direct contact with food producers, learn about their growing practices, and taste fresh. The opportunity to taste locally grown ingredients. This direct connection is in the food system. Cultivate a sense of community, transparency, and trust. Pollan emphasizes, reduce the distance between the farm and the table. Not only can we support local farmers, it can also reduce the environmental impact of food transportation. By selecting locally sourced food, we can reduce carbon footprint and taste the best. The taste of fresh food. Reconnecting our food sources. Not just proximity. He was trained to produce the hard work that nourishes our food, a deeper appreciation of dedication and care. The first part goes into the wilderness. Embrace our inner hunter-gatherer. Pollan boldly left, cultivated land, and managed pastures for modern agriculture. Take us deep into the heart of nature, where he explored humanity, ancient hunting, and gathering activities. This is more than just an academic event. It's a primal instinct for us, and between us and the wilderness, instinctive exploration of connection. Pollan, risking with experienced hunters and gatherers. Risk into the wilderness. Immerse yourself in a meal, not bought from a store. They're looking in the environment. In the world of tracking and harvesting, he learned to recognize edible plants, tracking wildlife, and appreciate the rhythms and patterns of the natural world. This immersion in the hunter-gatherer lifestyle, both exciting, it's humbling. He revealed our ancestors, the depth of knowledge and skills possessed. They depend on a deep understanding of nature to survive. Pollan discovered, hunting and gathering is not just about mistakes and acquisition. It's a deeply spiritual and transformative experience. He did it in a profound and meaningful way. It connects us to the natural world, part to the chamber of secrets instinct, awakening our connection with nature. As Pollan delves deeper into the world of the chamber of secrets, he discovered that the act of gathering wild food, more than just relics of the past, but a continued cause, practices that resonate with people from all walks of life. From city parks to suburban backyards, the individual is weighed down, the newly discovered joy of foraging for wild food, and returns. This renewed interest in foraging shows a deep-rooted human desire. Give nature, make connections, and in the natural world, regain a sense of belonging. Foraging requires us to slow down, observe the surrounding environment, and with the way life often gets in the way, engage our senses. Pollan thinks, foraging is not just about finding food. It is about cultivating a right consciousness of the natural world, appreciation and respect. He is about recognizing that we are intricate, part of a complex web of life, rather than being separated from it. By tapping into our innate foraging instincts, we can restart, awaken a sense of wonder and connection to the natural world. And this feeling, in our modern urban life, has become increasingly elusive. Part through the original feast, the rewards and challenges of wild food, Pollan's exploration of the hunter-gatherer lifestyle, it ended up with a meal like no other. A feast made entirely of wild food. Fish caught by himself, to the mushrooms he foraged in the forest, every ingredient on the table. Both represent a direct connection to the natural world. The flavors of these wild foods are intense, complex. It is unlike any food sold in supermarkets. Collection, preparation, and sharing. The behavior of this meal, full of love for nature, generous awe, and gratitude. However, Pollan admitted that the hunter-gatherer lifestyle was not without its challenges. He needs to invest a lot of time, energy, and skills. In a world where convenience and efficiency are paramount, the slow, unhurried pace of hunting and gathering seems impractical. It's not even possible. Pollan challenges us, thinking about what we are pursuing, the trade-offs made in the process of convenience, and ask if there is a way to some principles of hunting and gathering incorporated into our modern lives, even if it's just in our drinks. Add more foraging food to your diet. The first part of the dinner party is a fusion of various options. After exploring, for very different food chains, Pollan invited us to one last meal, dinner set by the applicant. A game is represented by different foods. Dinner with guests from a food perspective. This party is not about flaunting culinary memories. It's about promoting ideas about the choices we make and the values that they reflect. At the table, we met people who embodied a different diet: vegan, sustainable farmers, fast food enthusiasts, organic gardener. As the conversation unfolded, and so their story unfolds, revealing the factors that shape their relationship with food. Complex factor network. Some of the guests talked about how they were the ethical dilemmas that are being addressed, question the environmental impact of their food choices, or the treatment of animals in industrial agriculture. Others express their concern for freshness, the affordability of healthy food, or in processed foods, balance in a world of convenience. Concerns about dietary challenges. Pollan masterfully orchestrated this exchange of ideas, highlighted even though he admitted there are genuine differences of opinion, but the common denominator that unites us. The dinner party became a microcosm of the wider society's debate on food, one that can be heard and respected. Space for different sounds. The second part goes beyond nutrition. Food as a cultural identity and value. As the dinner conversation progressed, so obviously, food is more than just subsistence. It's a powerful lens. Through it, we can express our cultural identity, personal values, and how we perceive the world around us. What do we choose to eat? How to prepare? And with whom to share. It's all who we are, and an expression of what we really are. Food can connect us to our traditions, bringing back precious memories and strengthening social bonds. The way of theory reminds us, our food choices, we are often personally influenced. The influence of factors beyond our control, socioeconomic status, access to healthy food and cultural norms, are shaping the way we eat, play an important role. By recognizing the complex interplay between these factors, we can begin to address the health disparities that contribute to our health, systemic inequalities and food insecurity. The third part is the ethics of diet. Navigating a complex moral landscape, conversations at dinner parties are inevitable, turning to the ethical aspects of diet as we move through the industrial food chain, exploring the prospects of sustainable agriculture, and witness the original connection between hunting and gathering. And we had a whole series of ethical problems. Eating meat from factory farms, whether to care for morality, we care about the food animals we raise. What are the responsibilities of wealth? How to overcome the craving for affordable food and the need to protect the environment. Strike a balance. For these complex issues, Pollan doesn't have a simple answer. On the contrary, he encourages us to engage in a process of critical reflection, consider the consequences of our choices, and try to work with, obtained in a relationship of mistakes, greater awareness and responsibility. He reminds us, every meal is a moral act. It is our system that aligns values with actions. And for a more just and sustainable food system, the opportunity to make a contribution. The first part is the call of consciousness. Enrich our food choices. With us and Michael, Pollan's culinary journey is coming to an end. We find ourselves at a crossroads. Miscellaneous. The Eater's Dilemma shows us a remnant. Cool reality. Although our modern food system, rich and efficient, but often at the expense of our healthy environment and our sense of connection with food. But this realization is not a cause for despair. It's a call to action. Batchaft of Pollan. It's not about a certain diet or impose strict rules. It's about being more conscious. The source of food, production method, and its impact on the world around it. By understanding the complexities of the industrial food chain, principles of sustainable agriculture, and thus, the relationship between food choices and their consequences, we can start thinking about what we eat, make smarter decisions. The second part, towards a more sustainable plate. We need to nourish ourselves and our planet. Switching to a more sustainable diet, it doesn't have to happen overnight. Radical change, it's about making incremental changes. As time goes by, these changes can have a significant impact. One of the most powerful steps we can take is to prioritize plant-based foods. By reducing meat consumption, especially industrially produced meat, we can reduce our environmental footprint, support for more humane animal husbandry, and improve our own health. Adopt a plant-based diet. It doesn't mean giving up meat entirely. It's about finding the right fit for ourselves and the balance of our values. Another key aspect of sustainable eating. It's about supporting local food systems. By choosing near home, food grown or raised, we can not only reduce the environmental cost of transportation, we can also invest in our community and establish a deeper connection with food sources. farmers market, community-supported agriculture project, and farm-to-table restaurants. Provides direct contact with food producers, learn about their practices, and taste fresh. The opportunity to taste seasonal ingredients. Part 3. The power of one bite. A collective journey towards food justice. Move towards more. The journey to a just and sustainable food system. We didn't do it alone. It requires a collective effort. It is necessary to recognize our personal choices are interconnected. We have a shared responsibility to create a food system that works for everyone. Advocacy for policies that support sustainable agriculture. Volunteer at a local food bank or talk to friends and family about intentions. Recognize the importance of diet, educating future generations about the origin of food, the importance of environmental management, and the value of a healthy diet to create a more just and a sustainable food future. Crucial.